Even just the word makes me feel all kinds of ways. But I want to emphasize this before we get started with the topic. If that's your kind of thing, it's just not mine. You do you, but don't get me into it. If you want to do that with other people. That's not my kind of thing. No. But hookup culture. Now, I'm curious, and I want to look this up on camera too. What is the definition of hookup culture? Hookup culture refers to a culture built on the approval practice of engaging in hookups or sexual encounters between two or more individuals where it is understood that commitment, relationships, and emotional feelings are not expected outcomes. I already don't like it more because of that definition, but it's just one of those things where it's like, cool, if you want to do that, that's totally fine. We're going to move you guys so I don't have to do as much blurring out of people. There we go. Hookup culture is something that, I don't really approve of. If you want to do that, cool, but, you got to think about the repercussions of what you're doing. Because, you got to make sure both people are on board. For me, as someone who is already asexual, I don't look for a sexual attachment with a person. I look for emotional, very much like demisexual. Very, I long for emotions, feelings, a genuine connection and a bond with a person, which is the complete opposite, the yin-yang, if you will, to hookup culture. So that's also why I don't really mess with it too much. It's one of those things where, okay, I don't think I would ever do it. Because, again, I value connections. I value the people in my life. I value just knowing someone and not just doing that kind of thing and then just not, ignoring your feelings, being blind to your feelings, being numb to your feelings. That kind of thing does not make any sense to me. Why are you going to get involved with a person and do stuff and then the next day just forget feelings, forget attachments, forget anything that happened? Again, I'm not an expert on hookup culture, but for me, that's what I understand it to be like. And so, okay, it's just one of those things where I'm like, why? There was a person who I used to talk to, no longer anymore, but we talked for maybe I want to say 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. And this goes into what I was talking about in the last video, where I would do something for the plot or kind of just ignore the red flags essentially. And so I would basically just continue talking to this person, even if our dating ideals were very different. I wouldn't care if this person was clearly interested in a hookup, or I wouldn't care if this person was not interested in me at all, but was just talking to me for fun. Okay, I deep down I'm kind of hey, I can change this person, but that's not realistic with a lot of people. People have to be the ones to actually make the change themselves. You can help influence the change, but you can't be the one to make the change for other people. That's what I wish I had told myself a few years ago. But with this guy, back to the story, it just hurt because eventually when I decided to cut things off, I was just very oh, I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it anymore. I had lost that attachment. The feelings were not there. And then, on top of it, just them not telling me a lot of stuff, how far away they were from me, and me thinking that, we could possibly go to hang out sometime. Okay, cool. Like, if you're freaking, like, XY amount of miles away from me, then, like, okay, why are we even talking? If we're talking about meeting up, then, like, why are we even talking? If you're freaking far away from me, that's not gonna happen. So why are we doing this? Hookup culture is just something that's so, like, an alien concept to me. I will never understand it. And it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't know. Side note, I had something very crazy happen at work, and I'm just trying to, like, kind of forget about it right now. But, yeah, this stupid frickin' light rail. Ugh. It's interrupted both my videos today. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan. My God. Fucking let this train just run me over. But, yeah, where were we? What were we talking about? Hookup culture? Yeah. The moral of the story is that I understand it to a point that I don't want to understand it. It's not something I ever really want to do, and it's not really something I encourage. I would not promote that on the YouTubes, so, you know, if you want to get into dating, don't do hookup culture, because that's not really something that is good mentally, and the light rail is not helping. I keep getting interrupted in this video. I'm not really a big fan of interruptions. But yeah, so hookup culture. Not really a big fan. I don't know. It's not really one of those things that I want to do. Probably just could cut this part out. We got 8 minutes. We're fine. The bus doesn't come for a minute. Hookup culture is also not something I recommend. Like, if you're still trying to figure yourself out, like, well, I don't really have a right to say that, because I am someone whose sexuality basically implies that I am attracted to connection. So, you know, if you're not attracted to connection, then that's a whole other thing that you probably shouldn't hear from me about. But, you know, if you're trying to figure yourself out, I personally wouldn't recommend it. Unless you know that, like, maybe you're just not attracted to connection and you have empathy. Okay, maybe not that you don't have empathy, but, like, you know, you're not attracted to that, basically having a connection with somebody, then I maybe would steer away from it. Just explore other options is what I'm saying. So don't always stick to, oh, hookup culture, that's a good thing. No, it's not. Don't get into it, because it's not one of those things that you can really undo, like a lot of different things. You don't charge me then. And my camera's about to die, so I'm probably honestly just gonna end it here before I get, like, attacked by a homeless person. So if you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up. I've been trying to put out more videos. Work has been really crazy lately. I just picked up a shift, all-day shift, so I'm really tired, but I'm trying to put these kind of things out for you guys, and I'm trying to put out more variety in content. So, you know, if you appreciate vlogs and yapping sessions, then I appreciate it. So yeah, consider subscribing, do all that good stuff, and check out other videos.